Well, 17 times they went up against SEC opponents, and they failed. They competed. They acquitted themselves well. They had some heartbreak, but it didn't get done. And tonight it did. You got to go back to October of 2012. They're going to run and get that boot. They're going across the field. That's theirs now.
The big thing for me is preparation. Is everybody in the organization doing everything we can to put our players in a position to be successful, and are the players responding to that?
Thank God for film. When you turn on the film, we see the flaws. We know there's issues, and if we don't get them right, we're not going to get away with it in another game. Somebody's going to make us pay.
And a big hit. He can fly. Can't do it any better than that. Can't catch him in a foot race for the end zone.
Going to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown.
Again, understand the intentions of who? The play call.
They're going to run and get that boot. That's theirs now.
There are no quick fixes. Strong foundations last for many years to come.
Bam!
Welcome to the SEC Film Room. I'm David Green here with the Fred W. Smith Football Center here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fresh off the 17-0 victory of the LSU Tigers. I'm joined now by the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, Coach Brett Bielema. And Coach, first of all, congrats on a big victory. Tell me, what was it like inside that locker room, being able to address your team after that big victory?
Well, I first want them to realize that yesterday happened, or the victory happened, because of what they've done for a long time before that actual day. They prepared very well. They've developed a mentality where they don't flinch. Beat a very, very good football team. I think one of the things that's got lost in this whole we finally won was that they were a top 20 team and a very, very good football team. But it was fun to see the smiles, see the reactions, and that taste of victory.
Well, and saying that, yeah, it's been a long time in the SEC game. I've seen so many two tight end sets on both sides of the ball, but I thought both sides of your line just dominated the game.
I thought, especially, you know, as the game unfolded, I could see we were playing with great tempo, but the plays after I watched them on Sunday, that our D-line was just, they were beating everybody across the snap. I thought our offensive line had great surge. We protected our quarterback very, very well, which involved not just our O-line, but our tight ends and running backs.
Yeah. Well, Coach, let's check out these first half highlights.
Absolutely.
From a cold evening here at Razorback Stadium, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. Arkansas has lost 17 straight SEC games. They've been oh so close and oh so good each and every time, it seems, this year. Will tonight finally be the breakthrough for the Razorbacks?
Well, Coach, you talk about the excitement. Talk about the fans as well. I mean, you've had 17 straight losses, but yet the players and the fans still seem to be fired up.
It was. We came out of our hog pen there, a little tradition here that we started this year that allows our players to take the field, and obviously today we're playing for the boot, which means a lot to everybody involved in this program. And I can't say enough about the way our offense started that first series. A big run here with Jay Will coming in with a nice block by our fullback. Little wham play has been pretty good for us. Now we got a little misdirection. Corliss Marshall, who's been out the last couple games, came back. A very aggressive, very fast player, probably one play away from there, one break tackle from going the distance, but he kind of set the tempo early on, and our offense just continued to move down the field here. Nice little play action, great delivery. Hunter Henry is, if there's a tight end that's playing better in the country, I'd like to see him. He's really stepping to his own. Great accurate ball there by B.A.
And this is a good throw right here. It's worth a shot.
It was. We want to take a shot, throw a fade with Hunter there. Got a little bit of a size issue there with the corner. Obviously, he thinks he's number one, but the part that was great for our players to see the points go on the board. Adam McFain, a walk-on kicker who's done a tremendous job for us here the last couple games.
When he showed some really good balance that first drive, hit him with the inside run, you got the sweep going outside and some play-action pass.
This was a sprint.
Yeah, that's
ball.
A bad feeling as a quarterback right
You
here.
know, it was one of those first few times where the ball actually bounced our ways, but our guys responded in the right way. We held him back there and got him off the field with a punt, but just overall, all day long, I thought our guys brought great pressure. Here, Martrell Spade, who's playing phenomenal for us as a will linebacker. You see him come off the middle, get around, get them down, and I think Jennings just saw a lot of red jerseys and decided to take a slide.
Well, that's the one thing all day defensively. It seemed like y'all were swarming to the football.
It was. You know, we preach all the time about having guys with their eyes to the ball and being able to react. Here you see actually a couple missed tackles, but there are just too many red jerseys coming around that football.
When you look at the intensity, you always talk about as a coach, being able to match the intensity of your opponent. It seemed like all game, you guys were the ones taking it to win.
Well, here, you know, is a great opportunity for BA to get outside the pocket. Finds A.J. Derby, another great tight end, who's only played tight end for 10 games now. He was a quarterback for us a year ago and does a really nice job. Here he steps up in the pocket, delivers a strike to Keon Hatcher, a junior receiver, who's really coming into his own. And I like the intensity, like you mentioned, and this is a great one. Finally punched it in down here in the end zone. Jay Will goes airborne and take a 10-0 lead going into the half. Was pretty nice.
We're talking about Brandon Allen, too. Had a bunch of big third down passes in this game.
You know, I think on our 2 touchdown drives, he converted 4 third downs on one and 5 third downs on the other. So defense is playing with great attitude here. You see a ball gets dumped down low, but a lot of people come to the football, stops it short of the first down, and obviously gives our chance for our defense to make a nice little stand. This is huge, huge, huge. Come with a 5-man front. Darius gets great pressure, and then DJ Dean, who's really coming into his own, a sophomore corner for us. Jams him up. This is the call at the line of scrimmage where we wanted to get our hands on him, play physical football, and obviously delivered a great play.
And, Coach, y'all brought a lot of A-gap pressure. It seemed like the majority of the game. They had a tough time handling that.
It did. We thought that was a vulnerable point of their protection. Obviously, got ourselves lined up in what we call diesel, where we got 2 of our biggest guys trying to block the punt there, made the kick go wide and go in 10-0 is a nice way to start.
Well, as you go into halftime, you're up 10-0, like you said. What is your mindset as you go into any adjustments at halftime that you're trying to make? You
know, we wanted to make sure that our kids understood the score needed to be 0-0. Even though we're up by 10, we just talk about a half that you're going to regroup, take the first 30 minutes, understand what we did well, what we didn't do well. One thing I will say, Dave, that we really stressed all week was playing with a calmness. Even though you're going 100 miles an hour, we want you to play physical football. We want you to have a little bit of a calmness to you, and I think our kids executed that.
Well, they certainly acted like they knew how to win because they came out in the second half like they were hungry. But talk about this. As you come out before the third quarter, you came out and ran a few plays.
Yeah.
Talk about the mentality and the mindset, why you did that.
You know, a week ago during our bye week, I sat down and I asked our coaches, is there anything from the night before the game to the day of the game to pregame? And a lot of them talked about at halftime. We just never really came out with a uniformed thought. So I'd given some thought to it and sprung it on our players. I said, we start so well in the first half. Let's come out, run a few plays, 1 offensive play, 1 defensive play, and hit the game running.
Well, it worked on defense because here's our first play of defense right here.
You know, again, our guys just playing with an attitude. There's so many red shirts around the football. A lot of guys reacting. Here we walk Martrell down to the outside. They flush him up the middle. He has to throw the ball away. A lot of white jerseys over there, but they're all outside the white line, so it works well in that regard. Here's another good example. Obviously, he steps up, but Martrell's there to make a textbook tackle on 3rd down. Again, our leading tackler, I think he's leading the SEC in tackles, and just a relentless attitude. This is great. We're getting down here, starting to get in a position to maybe go knocking on the door, but just an unbelievable execution here by our D-line. We run a little stunt, bring Trey Flowers, who's normally a DN, into the interior, and then we lined up. We didn't want to even pressure him here. We knew he was struggling, saw him in pregame warm-ups. We just lined up really at punt safe, or field goal safe, and allowed him to try and kick a field goal.
And here you are again defensively. They kept trying to run the ball. Even though they were down, they weren't having a lot of success. They were sticking to their game plan.
You know, Dave, we had them backed up here. Another great job by Sam Irwin-Hill. Our punter put them in deep in their own territory, and we knew that they were going to try and, run the ball out. Here they kind of went with a little bit of an intermediate route to try and get a first down, but our guys are there. And then obviously this is a huge one here to continue to just, they're going to make it, make the play in front of you. We knew we had 3rd and 10. I don't care if they complete it for 4, 5, 6, or 7. I'll be there to make the play. And then BA gets good field position. Does a tremendous job of, unbelievable play here. I know we saw a quick shot of it, but AJ knocked the living, out of a D-end here.
And if you want to slow a D-end down, that's what you do. You chip block,
You do. You give them some little shots in the ribs they might feel for a couple weeks. And then Alex Collins had probably his best game of the year. Just a tremendous effort by him to make a play there and get it in the end zone and give us an even bigger lead. Huge play here, trying to deep ball. Jared Collins was our defensive MVP. Again, him and Martrell really leading the way. The great news about Jared, he's only a sophomore, played the deep ball as well as you could ask right there. Here again, they're starting to get down in hostile territory. Martrell Spaight just puts a hand on the ball. Great fumble recovery by Darius Phylon, and gave our guys an opportunity to take the field offensively once again, grind some block, eventually get us a W.
Coach, you played a lot of man coverage too. When they were in passing situations, you felt pretty good with your corners and your safeties one-on-one.
We did. You know, here you got some zone eyes, so everybody's eyes are on the quarterback. We get a big, big sack down here. But we mixed it up. You know, Dave, we'd play a little zone, play a little man. I don't think they were able to get a beat on what we were doing. Here we knew we had 3rd and extra long, so we just backed it up, 3rd and 25. We'll take that any day. Get another sack, another opportunity for our guys to, you know, line up and play the game the way it needs to be played. Now we're getting down. This is 3:30, and we knew if we could just make one more stop, this thing was going to be in the bag. And again, another great pressure. Almost gets there right at the last moment. Jared shoots his hands. Great defense. Get great pressure here by Dietrich Wise. Just a second too late, but a great effort.
What I'm telling you, from a quarterback's perspective, you feel that. Even though he didn't get the sack, you can feel that pressure coming on.
And you know, you want to get quarterbacks' feet to be a little bit hot, and they were definitely hot there. Rob and his staff did a tremendous job, and then we're able to take the field, and that was one ice bath that I didn't mind taking.
That's right.
In the sprint, we've been playing for a trophy game and playing for the boot. It's something that means a lot to our players. We have a lot of players from Louisiana, and we're going to recruit a lot more because obviously it should be easier to go in there right now, and just a great scene there in the home field.
Well, Coach, with all the adversity that y'all faced, did it make that win so much sweeter?
You know what, and I appreciate it. I know we had a streak going there, but I wanted to get a win for that room, for our players, their families, our coaches. You saw the way our fans reacted. It was something that I think our whole state needed. You know, to be an Arkansas Razorback, really from north to south, east to west. If you're from Arkansas, if you've been affiliated with the Hog Nation, you're going to be very proud of that day.
And talk about the confidence in this team, because I'm telling you, just from watching a game, it didn't look like a team that hadn't experienced a lot of. They're playing with tremendous amount of confidence.
You know, David, I think throughout this whole thing, the biggest thing, our guys didn't flinch. And the easy thing when you have failure is to, become a little flinchy, or you start to ask reasons why, or you maybe, go against the principles that got you to where you are. And we just kept pushing ourselves forward. And as that game unfolded, literally with every snap, our guys got more and more confident.
Was it the senior class? Did they have a big part in that?
Without a doubt. I think especially on defense, you look at every position. Alan Turner in the defensive back, Martrell Spaight at the will linebacker, and Trey Flowers up front at the defensive end. Every position has a senior that's playing great football. On the flip side of it, offensively, Bray Cook, our right tackle, is our unprecedented leader. You have Demetrius Wilson outside as a wide receiver, and then you have some guys in that backfield that have played a lot of football. And without a doubt, our upperclassmen led the way.
That's awesome, Coach. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll break down some film.
Awesome.
This time they bring it, they run a stunt, there it comes, and there it is. And it was Trey Flowers coming around.
This is a big-time execution right here. This is when I think our guys realize, hey, we're just playing a little bit faster than them right now.
Welcome back to the SEC Film Room. All right, Coach, we've checked out the highlights. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's break down a little tape.
I like
Pass the clicker to you, buddy.
The power of the clicker.
That's right.
I think the great thing about watching our guys on Sunday after taking in the game on Saturday was just how hard they played. This is probably one of my favorite plays. Just when we line up, what we're doing, we're in an unbalanced formation here, not in the sense that there's more than linemen, but we're unbalanced in the fact there's a wide receiver and 2 tight ends on the same side. And what you're going to see is we're just going to try to outnumber people in the hole. We try to put as many big people on the field at these times. Yeah. Other people like the little pretty sexy guys. We try to put as many big guys. We got one pretty guy out here in Demetrius, but everybody else is some bigger guys. You got a fullback, you got a 340-pound guard, and you got a 240-pound tight end pulling into the hole. And from the back end, you can really see this play unfold. This is really a great example of BA just got us in the right call. If you divide the formation from the center over, they have 7 defenders to our right and only 4 to the left. We only have 2 over here with 2 immediate backs, but by the time you bring a guard, a tight end, and a fullback, now we brought 3 more people to this side of the line of scrimmage. And it's a very tough play to defend if it's executed properly. What you got to do is make sure you cut off the backside tackle. Done. Now what you need to do is have a great double team. So we got Tretola and Skipper rocking their 3 technique. But the part of this play that I love is their middle linebacker kind of makes things happen. And you see Tretola, he kind of got in his grill a little bit here, and he knocked him 4 yards back into the end zone. And you see, now just watch the demeanor. After he has his block, watch this.
A little dance,
this
Coach.
is 300,
swagger. A little swagger.
360 pounds of love, you know. And the great thing is his mom was here for the first time, and this boy loves his mom. And to know that, I knew he was going to play with a little extra. We got down to the 6-inch line, and we punched it in the next play. Here's another 3rd and 7. This is obviously getting down there in the high red zone, 20-yard line. This is a big-time execution right here. This is when I think our guys realize, hey, we're just playing a little bit faster than them right now.
And talk about this stunt. This is not easy for offensive linemen to pick up.
This is a great stunt that basically brings a slant with our 2. We have 2 edge players that are going to keep the ball contained to both sides, because Jennings can be an effective quarterback if he escapes the pocket. So we'll bring him hard off the edge, and then inside we're just going to slant with Darius, slant with Martrell and Trey Flowers. He's starting on the 20, so when he makes the cut, he's already at the 24-yard line, what makes this stunt get there so fast. You can, 69 tries to bury down on Darius, and he's got one of those rut-row. Something just happened. Obviously a huge, huge play, great execution, great opportunity for our guys to make a statement. And again, it's not one guy, it's 11 guys working together. We have a lot of guys over here. Martrell, Spaight, Trey Flowers, a senior who's playing off the charts, but, Trey Flowers, I think, had 1 SEC offer. A lot of these guys that are playing, DJ Dean over here, he was committed to Utah before we offered him. He didn't have an SEC offer. So we're lining up a bunch of guys that have a lot of stars against us, but none of those stars make a tackle or make a sack on the field, and our guys play with a little bit of an attitude. This is probably another one of my favorite plays. Great design by Jim Chaney. So we're in a 2-by-2 set, which is balanced for LSU to look at. We'll create a 3-by-1 set, but the 2 greatest things on this play are going to happen after the ball is caught. Great design, great concept. AJ blocks him off. You see the LSU defenders he's telling him, hey, 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 but of course he didn't hear him because we got a loud crowd. But he does a good job catching the football. Now begin to see what happened. We have Hunter Henry who's going up the field. He's going to get everything he can out of it. I really couldn't believe when I watched the film this guy didn't want to go make a hit, but obviously he wasn't interested in this. But the part that was fun to watch here, the largest man on the field is 6'10", 330 pounds, Dan Skipper. Watch when the ball is thrown. We talk about covering. Look at that. He gets the head down, and he does nothing but sprint as fast as 6'10", 330 can do. Now, all these other guys kind of just taking their time. This guy's going to go help his friend no matter what's going on.
That's awesome.
And probably the best thing, I saw this on Sunday. Didn't see the course. This man right here, Alex Collins, he came here to run the football. He didn't come here to make blocks like this. But we talk about taking everything we can to protect our quarterback. All that happens right here is he sees to his right, nobody fired over here, which draws his attention to the left, and watch this. Boom. He's going to do everything he can so that guy is not going to get a shot on our defenseless quarterback.
Wow.
And that's a big hit against a big boy.
That's not easy to do.
No, and he'll do it 100 times over because he knows that's what he's got to do. B.A., when he's got his eyes right and his feet right, can be a very, very good player. And Saturday might have been his best game as a Razorback, and hopefully it's just a sign of more things to come. Here's another great one. You want to talk about having some fun. This guy right here, A.J. Derby, his best friend, they were competing last year for the starting quarterback position. I asked him, I played with his dad, played linebacker with me at the University of Iowa. I said, let's just play tight end for a week during spring ball. Tell me what you think. Now he's a quarterback that is playing tight end that knows what it means to play tight end. I remember being on the headset, and I heard Coach Chaney say to Coach Lonnie, man, I hope we get a good chip out of 11, and watch what he does to that. We call this a chip block. He lets 94 know where he's at, and 94 might have felt this one on Saturday, but he probably felt it
on Sunday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what a quarterback can do when you move to tight end.
That's a defensive end's worst nightmare, isn't it? He didn't even see it coming.
The greatest thing is now every Ole Miss DN is going to see that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Film don't lie, so the attitude that our guys are playing with will show up week in and week out. Here's a 10-0 game still. This is a 3rd and 4 play. Obviously, we're going to try to convert here points. We want touchdowns, not field goals. Just about ready to hop into that high red zone area. Again, BA, great presence, awareness here. They bring pressure off the edge, some of the things that we talked about during the course of the week. He sees it, now he spins out of it, buys time on a late comeback route. Great execution, Keon Hatcher. Great execution of the comeback, comes back to the football. Very easy play.
That's a big league throw.
That's
a Sunday type look right there.
I know this, for a quarterback that's right-handed to throw the ball running to his left.
That's not easy.
That's not easy.
That is not easy.
And
especially in 20-degree weather.
I'd love for him to throw on Sundays, but I like a few more Saturdays
That's right.
first. But he really did make a huge step forward. We got a touchdown out of that eventually.
All right, well, Coach, you're able to get over that first big hurdle of getting that victory. What is the next hurdle for this football team?
Well, I think it's the preparation this week. First off, everybody and their mother is going to be telling them how good they are. You know, so last night I told them, enjoyed it, but now let's turn the page. When you're going to class, everybody's going to want to talk about Saturday. We got to talk about this Saturday. We got to talk about Ole Miss, another ranked team, another ranked top 10 team. So in the SEC West, it never gets easy. So Ole Miss has got to come to town. It's our seniors' last game, and when we're going to be ready to play them.
Coach, congratulations on the
Dave.
win, and best luck next week.
Thank you.
And I asked Brett Bielema point blank, your best player this season. He pointed right at number 47, Bielema and Spaight.
Just looking for the big hit every chance I had. And the coach is really challenging me this year to work on my mental aspect of the game.
Welcome back to the SEC Film Room. Now joining me is a senior linebacker for the Arkansas Razorbacks, Bielema and Spaight. And Bielema, it was a great game, but I think even more importantly, as a defensive leader, the shutout, right?
Yes, sir.
How good did it feel to get that shutout on Saturday?
It was huge. Going in knowing we're going to play a great team, and just going out there and get a shutout, it was just huge for us to go out there and get that win.
What did y'all do defensively that gave them so much trouble? Because LSU's a good team. They got a lot of good players. You know they like to run the football, but to give up 0 points, that's a big deal.
It mainly starts up front with the defensive linemen. Like I said, they're one of the best defensive linemen in the SEC, if not in the nation. So when you have defensive linemen like that, it's hard to block those guys. And when you do that, it frees up the linebackers to make plays and just help the DBs out in cover. So it's a joint effort.
And it's been well documented that you love the film room. And I know as you go into this year, the film study's been a big deal. How has that helped take your game to the next level?
It's been huge. Prior to me coming on campus, I was always told that I was a physical player, and I guess I kind of fell in that mentality when I first got here, and I was just looking for the big hit every chance I had. And the coach has really challenged me this year to work on my mental aspect of the game, and I just tried hard to go out there and study in the film room, and it paid off a lot being out on the football field, and I could see that it just paid off for me.
Well, let's check out a couple of these plays in this game against LSU when the first play is the first play on defense of the game.
Yes,
and we talked about the film study right here. And Jennings gets up to the line of scrimmage, and he's making a check. You start pointing. I know you start talking to some of your guys. Did you get a feel that this was coming?
Yes, sir. One of the coaches told me when I first got here that when you're playing the game of football, teams will always give you a sense of direction where the ball is going. And when you look on here at the beginning of the play, when the quarterback's getting ready to check, the fullback throws his hands behind his back, telling the running back that the ball is going that way. So
okay.
I tried to point out to the other linebackers to let them know that the ball is going this way. Not sure what type of play it was going to be, but I know it's going to be a run towards my direction. You're beating a
40 pounds?
I believe so.
Tailback, he's a load, isn't he? What about pad level? You got to be low, right? As a linebacker, you got to be able to play low and be down in a football position to be able to make this kind of tackle.
You don't want to be too high in this league. Being out here with these great backs, they come out 240, 250 pounds, and the higher you get, you got a great chance of getting ran over.
You're going to be on the highlight film on the bad side, right?
Yes, sir. So you try to make sure you be lower than the opponent.
All right, 2nd and 2.
Yes, sir.
They're driving here. They're putting together a pretty good drive. Jennings is throwing the ball well. They got a designed quarterback draw, and what happened here? You were just wrapping up, right? You were just trying to go for the tackle.
Yes, sir. Recently, I believe in the first quarter of the game, they ran this exact play, and the quarterback actually read me. And I figured that out the first time, the fact that I was getting over the top, and he would read me, and he cut back. So I tried to be patient and slow play him, and I tried to bait him like I was going over the top, and if he was to fall back, I was to fall back with him. And the ball came. I really didn't know the ball came out until I heard everyone in the fans cheering. Yes, sir.
Y'all been giving him a lot of trouble in that A gap, and I believe this is in the 3rd quarter. You're right here filling that A gap and bluff.
Yeah, we wanted to get those offensive linemen thinkers as much as possible. It was 3rd down, and I was actually looking for the screen, and saw the running back getting ready to go across the field. I saw the quarterback getting flushed out the pocket, and I knew he was getting ready to start to run. So I didn't want to rush him and then throw the ball, so I just tried to be patient. And when I saw he committed to the run, just come up and try to make a play.
What's the key here is to make sure you don't get juked out. You don't want to be on that highlight either.
No, sir.
You got to stay low, right?
Yes, sir, most definitely. The main thing is when tackling in open space, you want to keep your eye on his numbers. A lot of times players get their eyes on their feet and then they get through our balance and things like that. So once you keep your eyes on his number, he can't go nowhere without his chest going that way. So
that's a good point, yeah.
Once you read the numbers, just shoot for it.
Well, I've enjoyed watching you play, my man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
If you want excitement, you come to the SEC.